Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am super stoked about this episode because I have my friend Angie here today, and we're just gonna have the best conversation. So, Angie, why don't you share a little bit about yourself and then tell the journey of how, spoiler, she owns this beautiful space that we're in. So share a little bit about the journey that led you to become the owner of Barre 3 Tulsa.
Sure. Actually, Brenda Oakes, who was the original founding owner, she started the space and she had a calling on her life after owning it 6 years and doing a beautiful job with it and bringing such a lovely community together. She had a calling from God to start a church in California. Well, that didn't take place, but she had already sold the place to somebody else. And as she was going to pick the next person, she had asked me originally if I wanted to purchase it, and the timing and the season wasn't right. It just wasn't the right time. And I, by trade, am a dental hygienist. And so I was well in the throes of that career. And I'm like, I'm fine, I'm good. And so I told her, go ahead, don't look at me as the next owner. Then it became available again 6 years after that. And so I purchased it. I went against it in my heart for a long time. I tried to fight it, but it was God. It truly was, because like I said, I was comfortable in my career. I knew I could do that in my sleep. And I was just like, well, I don't need this in my life. I'm good. And my husband kept nudging me. And then God kept nudging me. And then finally, it just fell into my lap, basically, of like, this is what you're supposed to do. I just got this premonition in the middle of the night, because I always have had such a heart to help other people, especially women. There's such an environment in this world that's not kind. Women aren't kind to each other by nature. And I wanted to create a space where there was that environment that people could come flourish and find love and acceptance and kindness.
Yeah, that's great. And that's definitely what I've experienced here. I mean, I feel like I've gotten so much stronger, and just the changes I've noticed in my health is insane, and in such a short amount of time too.
Yeah, that's beautiful. We want to create that, and then the community aspect as well. But I'm so lucky. I feel like I have a front row seat at watching people blossom, because you see it. You watch them come in, and they might not even be able to look you in the eye at first because of lack of confidence, or they're going through things in life that you're not even aware of yet. They come in feeling defeated and sometimes looking defeated, but then you see them leave, and emotionally, spiritually, physically, eventually they're becoming stronger and stronger. And I've watched people just totally just change their whole demeanor.
Mm-hmm. So there are so many boutique fitness places. Is that the right phrase?
It is.
Okay.
It is.
Okay. So there are lots of options out there that you can go to. Even on this street, so everywhere you look, there's one. So what do you think makes Barre 3 unique and different?
I think because we allow people to honor their body instead of go hard, go fast, where some people feel like I need to keep up with, the person next to me. It's your journey. And if something doesn't fit for that day, there are modifications. You can take what you need that day, and you can go a larger weight if that's what you're feeling, or you could taper it down and this isn't what I need today. So I think that's the difference. There's not that pressure. There's not that peer pressure.
Yeah. That's something that I've definitely seen, like the sustainability of it.
Yeah.
Because I used to go to a different studio that's not Barre 3. And the only reason I was able to do it is because I had an end date in mind. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do this for one semester. And then after, I'll be done. And I wasn't really sure what to expect whenever I started coming to Barre 3. But for one, I go all the time. I've been going pretty much every day now because I love it and because I want to go every day. And if I don't, I miss it. And then also, kind of like you said, like if I'm having an off day, I know that there will be zero judgment from any women in the class or any of the instructors to not use the heaviest weights that I've used before in classes. And like, I just love that about Bar 3, and I could see myself staying here for the rest of my life. Like I
And that's key because there are modifications. Say there's a sports injury or an injury in daily life or pregnancy,
yes,
or postpartum. There are all kinds of modifications that our instructors have been trained with that others haven't had that opportunity. Let's say this is based in Portland. It originated in Portland, and there are strict trainings that they go through. They go through a 4-month process, so it's not just 2 weeks and you get your certificate. It talks about the anatomy, how they use that. That's why they call out sensation-based cues of where, like, you're going to feel this in your glutes, you're going to feel this there. And so we are really stringent on that. And I think that makes a difference too.
Or if you're listening, you'll feel this in your side seat.
Yeah, side seat.
That's an Alyssa quote. So for someone who's never been to a Bar 3 class, or even just a bar class in general, could you explain like the different class formats? Because that is pretty unique to Bar 3. There's 4 different class formats that you can take, and then maybe what someone could expect from a bar class or from each format, if you want to break it down.
Sure. We have our signature class, which is the secret sauce. It's the strength, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of balance, mobility, mindfulness. So it's a mixture of all. But then we have the extension classes, which there's one strength. It's based more on the strength, building up the muscle tone, the stretching of the muscles. And it's not like what some women are afraid of, or my era was afraid of, like, I don't want to build, I don't want to bulk up. It's not that. This is about, maintaining your muscle mass and just becoming stronger in daily life. And I'll check more on that later. But there's the strength, there's a mindful flow, which is more like a mat yoga type of based, and Pilates. And we have cardio, which is, if you want to go hard, go fast, you'll hit cardio. It'll keep you going. And I guess that's it. Signature strength, mindful flow, and cardio. Yeah.
I've taken all of the class formats. I really like the strength class because it is like you are getting stronger and like noticeably. Like I think I started strength classes with the 6-pound weights, and now I'm working up to being able to do a full class with the 12s.
Wow.
So I've doubled my weight since I've started coming here, and that's really cool. And I think that really helps, like, want you to keep coming back.
I tell you, strength, it is such a focus in just overall society. You'll hear it on a newscast. I get articles all the time about it. You see it on, female talk shows about how important strength is now, because they are realizing that, it's in young women, it's time to be proactive, not reactive later. You build muscle, you improve your posture, support your metabolism, increase your bone density. In perimenopause and menopause, your estrogen declines, so you naturally lose muscle tone. Starting age 30, it's scientifically proven that you lose about 8% of your muscle tone per decade. So this helps, it's prevention instead of, getting there and being like, what in the world happened? It's a lifetime of, do I want to be, 20, 30 years from now, it's like, so you'll be able to do things later in life that you see, some people that are growing older that didn't really key into exercise in their lives. They lose balance. There's all kinds of issues.
Would you say that it's becoming a little bit more mainstream and common knowledge, those facts that you were just talking about, how like you lose bones density after age 30 and your estrogen declines? Because honestly, before we wrote that book and before my mom, who's a nurse, like told me about it, I had no idea. And so do you think that more people are talking about it?
I do. I think just scientifically that it's being proven more and more. And I think that, as a whole in society, we're living to be older than our previous generations. So I think that we find it more enticing to say, oh, let's take care of ourselves so we can ultimately maybe live at home throughout a later area of our life instead of put in a nursing home or what have you. Since it improves our balance, our stability, our reactions, we'll be able to drive a car longer. I think it just sustains a better life and a more quality life.
Yeah. But hearing those statistics and like that in your research, I mean, it made me grateful that I am learning about it when I am in my 20s, and B, it kind of lit a fire under me, like, oh, like I want to work out now and like build strength and build muscle. And so it will make it easier whenever I get older. Because I feel like it can be tempting as like someone in your 20s to be like, I'm young, I'm mobile, I don't need to work out. Like I can walk for miles like just fine. And I don't have any serious issues, but like you said, like now is the time if you're in your 20s.
Like you feel like you're immortal.
Yes.
And we're not just training for today's workout, we're training for what we want to live, like I said, 20 and 30 years from now.
Yeah. But I've noticed too, like I mentioned how I've gone up in weights in the class, and that's like a number. Yeah. But I've also noticed things that I didn't really have a benchmark before, but just like thinking about it, I'm like, I don't think that I would have been able to do that with such ease before I started coming to Part 3 and working out. Like I moved my friend out the other day, and obviously like I didn't a year ago didn't lift the same boxes and then be able to compare it back to back. Like, oh yeah, that's easier. But I mean, I think it was easier now that I have like been working out and building strength. Can't prove it, but I believe that I feel a difference. Okay. So now we're going to do some fun rapid fire questions.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. Are you a barefoot bar boss or a grippy sock queen?
Seasonality.
Okay.
Summers, definitely no socks. Okay. But in the winter, I like to be cozy.
Interesting. That's a good take. I like grippy socks because my feet get really sweaty. I was the only girl in class today not barefoot, but it's worth it to me. My feet be sliding.
Yeah, you don't want that.
No. Okay, do you prefer to work out in the morning or the evening?
I prefer evenings, and maybe it's just because of, I have so much to do there in a day, but I find it's a good way for me to wind down mentally too. And I go home so proud of myself. And then I find that I sleep better.
Oh, interesting. And then would you rather get coffee before class or a smoothie after class?
Coffee.
What's your go-to coffee order?
It is just black. Only because I've looked at the calorie board and I'm like, oh no. Once they started putting calories up there, I kind of switched my taste, we'll say. I used to love like a good old lavender matcha.
There's a lot of sugar too in most like coffee shops.
Yes.
Some of them I'm like, that's way too sweet. Because I'm used to drinking coffee at home and just put like a little bit of honey for sweetener. But at coffee shops, they put like 4 pumps of syrup. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it tastes good.
It does taste good. Okay, what is your favorite Barre 3 move?
I like the warrior pose. It makes me feel confident and gives me like a surge of energy. I feel powerful.
What is your least favorite Barre 3 pose?
Planks. Planks, but I'm so proud if I hold one all the way through. I might get the shakes, but if I hold it all the way through, I'm like, yes.
Okay, what is your favorite playlist genre?
Well, I like a little bit of throwback.
Okay.
I like, for example, this morning when Tina came in and turned her on, she had some Whitney Houston, and I heard a little Madonna, and I'm like, I just brought back all these like feelings, just of past and youthful moments, we'll say. So I like a little throwback, but I like things that also are to where you can turn the radio on in your car and you can be driving down the street and you're like, I heard that in my bar class today.
Yeah.
So I like songs that are recognizable.
A good mix. Yeah. Tina has some good songs.
She does.
She's been incorporating a little bit of Justin Bieber. My sister and I were we haven't listened to Justin Bieber in a long time, but they were good songs. So the whole reason why we're having this conversation, and you want to toss me your copy of the book?
Yes.
This is Angie's copy of our book that we just finished writing. And we talk a lot, especially in chapter 2, about the 6 pillars of lifestyle medicine. And those are health and nutrition, physical activity, restorative sleep, stress management, social connection, and avoiding risky substances. And we add like a 7th pillar in our book too, which is living with meaning and purpose, which is the foundation behind all of the other pillars. And maybe at first glance, someone might look at Barre 3 and fitness and think, well, that is just the physical activity pillar.
Yeah.
But in reality, and especially after taking classes like myself, I realized that it touches on so many more aspects of health than that. And so like all of the pillars it affects. And so now I want to talk about how you've seen Barre in this space help people cultivate whole person health rather than just getting in a workout.
Yeah, absolutely. I've watched a individual come in and she was just body shamed or something, and she's like, am I okay? No confidence. Am I okay in just a t-shirt, because she sees people in the workout clothes and stuff. And I'm like, you're whatever you're comfortable in. She went in class and came out smiling, and she was like, that was actually fun, So I watched her evolve, and every time she came, she was more and more excited and started building friendships. I heard her laughing in there. I just watched her as a person just glow. And I'd watch her walk down the sidewalk to her car, and she was just like holding her shoulders back and gaining confidence. There's another group of women here that are widows, and they didn't know each other before, but they were sending me selfies when they were like out to lunch together, grinning and just, having a great time together. And they've bonded, and they had led kind of lonely lives. They had, family and all, but they just, to find each other like that and develop like this little Golden Girls club, if you will. It was so cool to watch that. It is still cool. I mean, they'll tell me of little events they're going to and things they're going to and doing together. And it's just, that to me touches me more than anything. I mean, that if you don't have joy and happiness in your life, it's such a depleting thing. Mentally, it can mess with you to the point to where it brings on sickness, I think. And so I think that community and acceptance and love and just showing each other that we're here to cheer each other on, not break each other down, that's volumes.
Yeah. And two, I feel like with the meaning and purpose, people grab onto that here and then they are working towards that. Like I know for my mom, one of her reasons for working out amongst health reasons is to be able to lift her grandkids one day. Yeah. And she did speak twins upon me the other day.
I heard that.
I rebuked that. Please, Lord.
I heard that.
Did you see my face?
No, I didn't. I chose to stay out of that battle.
I was like not paying attention, and then I heard, maybe if he has twins, I can lift the twins. And I go, if it's the Lord's will to give me twins, I figure it out. Yes. But yes,
and you'll have our play lounge.
Oh, yes, I'll have the play lounge. Community is definitely such a huge part of the Barre experience. And so all sorts of people from all sorts of walks of life come to these classes. And that's something that I love as well. It is a diverse group of people from all ages, all life experiences. And so some people come into class and they're carrying stress from work or maybe parenting or everyday life. Maybe they're a caregiver. So how have you seen movement become a tool for stress management?
There have been people come in daily that I hear like, I had a rough day. I just needed to get to class. And so how many times do you really get to hear that? Then they come out in the most relieved look on their face and they actually sigh like, I needed that. So I've listened to it over and over again as far as just, how it's helped people and brought such movement to their lives in physical and mental stress,
And something that I love and really appreciate is the mindfulness portion is incorporated into every class format. Like no matter what, even if it's a cardio class, there's still like a few minutes at the end that's set aside to focus on your breathing and just kind of turn your brain off, relax your nervous system. And sometimes I feel like I could just pass out and fall asleep because I'm so relaxed. But every time after class is over, I feel lighter and I'm like I feel like I can conquer the rest of my day.
That is the best way. It's so grounding to go through that. I call it recess, because you just lay there and you wish that would just go on forever. I often have said, we need to do a whole class of this.
I think I would fall asleep in a whole class of that. And then another thing that I've noticed and loved about Barre is that the instructors and just the culture here is so encouraging to honor our bodies instead of punish them.
Yes.
And so why is that philosophy so central to Bar 3?
It's one thing that Sadie Lincoln, the founder of the place, she has just been from day one, and it's been around 18 years now, has just literally almost preached the fact of that, be true to your body, be true to yourself, be kind to yourself, and she also has talked about how, the diversity of, like, you said, the instructors are all so different, just like the clientele. They each have their own vibe, each have their own way of presenting things.
So why is the philosophy of honoring your bodies rather than I need to work out because I don't know, something that I hear all the time in like diet culture is like, I had dessert last night, so I need to work out in the morning to work off the calories that I ate. So why, I feel like that is not the culture here at Bar 3. So why is the philosophy different here? And why are we focused on honoring our bodies and getting stronger rather than smaller?
Yeah, because that is an unhealthy frame of mind. And it constantly, in my opinion, keeps you in a stance of that you're never happy with yourself. You're always chasing something.
Never content.
Yeah. And this is something that's sustainable. It's sustainable for a lifetime as our bodies change, because I've gone through menopause and my body is way different. And at first I was a little ashamed, but instead it's made me just realize as long as I am healthy, I am happy, I'm content. It trickles into other areas of your life. It truly does. And so I think just making it sustainable like that and accepting ourselves as we are and becoming the better person, but doing it on our own terms instead of what's driven into our mind from society and from pictures of models and Instagram. And, that's just become such a unhealthy environment for girls, especially in their 20s and their early 30s. It's just, it bombards us.
I love how the focus is on functional movement and functional strength rather than like aesthetics and looks. And then the other thing that I was going to mention, which is just a little off topic, but I wanted to throw it out there. We write about pelvic floor therapists in our book, and we recommend at least seeking consultation if you're having any sexual dysfunction. And we love that pelvic floor strengthening is something that is like targeted in classes here.
Yes.
And our instructors like let us know, like, hey, we are going to do this exercise, and normally people think that this exercise is for your glutes, but we want you to focus on not like on a glute bridge, like not how high you can lift your hips, but how connected you can be to your pelvic floor. And that's what we're trying to strengthen right now is your pelvic floor muscles, not your glutes.
Yes.
And so I love how it is very, like in the cueing, it's very straightforward, I guess. Like, hey, this is what we're working on right now. And I've never been to a fitness place that like has outright said, we're working on building strength in your pelvic floor muscles. And so I love that about this place. And then I know in the past you've invited pelvic floor therapists to come and talk about what they do and share with classes. And I think you're doing that coming up again. And so I don't know, is that something that kind of like because Bar 3 is a franchise, so there's Bar 3s all over the United States.
Yes.
Is that something that's emphasized like nationwide, or is that something that just this studio has? How did you make that connection, or how did that come about?
I guess I find it part of my calling. So I don't know if everyone has embraced it. It's nothing that's been thrown at us as the franchise leaders, saying you need to implement this and include this in what you do as far as your rotation or what you present. So I think it's just been a personal thing. I felt just a real desire to reach out to women and help them build their confidence. And like pelvic floor therapy, I never knew that was a thing until I went to luncheon with her and she told me all about it. And I'm like, my goodness, this is something that truly we could all benefit from at all ages, And so I think it's something that I just kind of grabbed a hold of.
Yeah, I love it. And I think that is definitely something that sets this place apart because I've never heard of that happening anywhere else. And I thought it was super cool because that was one of my goals in starting to work out is like prepare my body for childbirth and all the things, and then postpartum too. And I know that strengthening your pelvic floor is a very important thing to prepare your body. So that was a little bit random, but
it like you said, it's one of the things that sets us apart. You know, we love to be in tune with what is happening in daily lives and what can help us all become stronger women together.
So you mentioned a couple of member stories earlier, but has there been any other stories from members that have especially impacted you that you want to share?
There have, you know, eventually going through divorces, which is a tough time. You know, no matter who instigated it, it's an emotional roller coaster, and it's helped them get through that season of their life and build confidence in themselves. There is one lady in particular who walked in, and you just look at her and she just exudes just physical beauty, has all the things, you think, gosh, her life is perfect, and found out that's not the case. And so through here, she kind of discovered herself. She didn't have an identity of who she was. Her identity was her work. It was the way she would make herself look. It was all very fragile. And so she has become a different person, is such a deep person. And she told me the other day that I am truly happy now. And if that's something that I can do, that alone is worth it to me. I want everyone to walk in here and feel acceptance and love. And if someone leaves our studio feeling a little bit stronger, a little bit happier, a little bit more mentally prepared for just life overall, then that's everything to me. It's become more of a life medicine.
That's awesome. So we've heard some incredible stories from members that you have gotten to witness their journey. How has Barre 3 changed your own relationship with movement?
So I was not ever the athlete of coordination, but I was a cheerleader. So I was used to being able to do, movement and, being able to, that was a workout in itself, So after those cheerleading days were over, I would go to the gym and I would be so bored with myself. I would just be like, oh my gosh, 10 minutes on this treadmill felt like an hour. So I got to where I was hiding with a magazine or a book so I wouldn't look at the time. And I'm still like, oh my gosh, I'm like, okay, no accountability, so because I was the only one there watching. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. I wasn't really following through and being true to myself. So once I started working out here, when Brenda owned it, that's when I fell in love. I fell in love with the fact that I had group fitness where I felt like it was I would look forward to coming. My husband said that he's like, how many barre classes can you do in a week? I'm like, well, because it was walking in the room and feeling like I wasn't alone, and then having accountability partners, even if it wasn't like someone that I knew like on outside of here, they've got you, So that in itself has really changed the way that I view it, that it's something that I can do, that's sustainable, that I look forward to doing.
Yes, like there's no judgment, and if you take a break, like no one is going to judge you. But for the accountability thing, it's almost like you're looking around and you're like, these women are doing it with me. Like we're in it together. Like we can do this. And then another one of my like little joys that I find in Barre 3 is how at the end of most classes, everyone claps together. Yeah. It doesn't happen every class, but I always do it at least a little bit, even if it's like a silent, because I just think it's so cute. And everyone's like celebrating together. Like we did that. Like we did that. That I tried to go to the gym by myself for a couple months before I started coming here. And I was like, this isn't working. I need other people with me to spur me on, because
I need guidance.
Yes. And the guidance too, because that's huge. Like I didn't know what I was doing at the gym. I had to look up like a YouTube video for each exercise. Whereas here, there's so many women that have done it so many times that you just look at them or the instructor modeling it and be like, oh, that's how you do it. And then the instructors are amazing about making adjustments and like giving tailored like advice and adjustments to you, and like, but it's not like in a, oh, I feel called out because I was doing this wrong. It's in a like, the instructor wants and loves to see growth in the members, and like, it's very helpful instead of, I don't know, because I feel like there can be two different like attitudes. One's like negative, where you kind of feel like, ooh, like I feel like corrected, like I was doing it wrong, and then they like corrected me. But it doesn't feel like that at all. It just feels like guidance, like, hey, maybe try doing it like this. And then you're like, oh my gosh, that is so much better. And then you feel stronger too, because but yeah, I love that about this place.
Yeah, just the other day, I guess I had my foot positioned wrong, and it felt fine to me, but the instructor came by and just kind of tapped my foot and just moved it an inch. And I felt it somewhere else. I was like, it was like,
it's crazy.
Light bulb.
Yeah. But all of the instructors are so encouraging, and I've not taken a class from someone where I was like, oh, that wasn't my favorite. Like, they are all stellar. I don't know how you found them. Like,
by the grace of God.
is crazy how incredible they each are. And it is nice how they do each have their own unique teaching style and vibe, because it keeps it fresh. Like, you're not taking the same class every time. And like, that's how I've been able to come almost every day, because it's different.
It never gets stagnant.
No.
And that's one thing that I emphasize. I really want everyone to shine with their personalities through their, through their workout sessions and their playlist and all that, to mix it up like that, because it is healthy for a client to have different experiences.
Yes, they're all very good about switching it up and like learning new moves and like incorporating new things. Like, I know one of the classes and it's fun too for members to learn new exercises. I learned the wood chop in one of the classes, and they're always really hard, but they're fun to learn, and then you get better at it. And then the one that we did today and Tuesday in Tina's class, that was a new one that is killer, is the split squat, like hovering on the ball. I don't know if you saw us struggling right there.
I should have been in there.
It was spicy, but it was good. And it was fun because it's new. And so your brain's almost like, okay, this is really hard and really challenging, but I've never done this before. So you're like, there's something just like in the brain chemicals that it's like, I want to do this again. Like, that was fun.
Sense of pride.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so a couple more questions to close. What are you most excited about for the future of Barre 3 Tulsa?
Just the growth. I'm so excited to watch us grow, and we're growing in leaps and bounds. I mean, our name's getting out there, that it is a place that people can come to for a good workout, but one where they can make it their own. And also the fact that I've had so many clients tell me it's their safe place. So just to create that environment and to let them, like I said, just let it shine that there is love amongst women, because there's culturally such a mean girl vibe out there that
competition driven and comparison.
And it's just not that way here.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say it's a very real and genuine place. All the people are very genuine, and it isn't about aesthetics. Like, we love a cute little matching set here. Right. Don't get me wrong. But if you walked in your grungiest t-shirt and sweatpants, no one would think anything of it or judge you
Not
for
at all.
it. So that is something that I love about this place. If you could give every woman one piece of advice about caring for her body, not about how she looks, but how she's living in it, what would it be? Start
as young as you can. Yeah, I think like you're very wise in starting now. I think that the younger you start, obviously, the more that you're going to get out of it. But no age is too late to start. You know, there are women, we have a lot of clients that are in their 60s and 70s that come, and they're just wanting to maintain that balance or build that core up so they can accumulate the balance in their bodies. But so it would just start. It's never too late to start, but if you're young, start now. That's right. So where can people find Barre 3 Tulsa, and where can they learn more? And I think the first class is free. The first class, if they want to give it a try. The first class is free. And then you don't have to dive into a membership, because we don't want anyone to ever feel pressured. We want it to be about what they're comfortable with. And there are many options when it does come time for a membership. But you can also step into a 2-week unlimited that if you do it in the studio, it's $39. What we did. Yeah. We took a free class and we're like, this is great. Let's do the 2-week. And then and then that way you feel you can take all the different classes. You can tell if it's really for you, because like we want people to feel like it's sustainable and longevity. So We're at 34th and Peoria, right next to our Bar and Grill in Brookside. And you can find us on Tulsa at bar3.com. And we would or stop in. You don't even have to sign up online, and we'll get you set up.
Follow them on Instagram too, because they make cute reels. Is there anything else that you want to share before?
No, I thank you for having me.
Yes.
This has been so lovely, and I just love you and your family so much, and I'm just so excited.
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you.
We love this place and are so grateful for you and the place that you've fostered, and we're very appreciative.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to follow Sex Rebranded on Instagram, and we will post the, September schedule for podcast episodes soon. So keep an eye out. And yeah, thank you guys so much. Bye.
Bye.